Good morning, friends. How are you on this beautiful Wednesday morning? We are here at the Coronado Springs Resort. We're about to get going for our 45-minute walk around this very peaceful resort. It's very underrated, I will say. I'll talk a little bit about it in our walk this morning. Highly recommend it. Good morning, Green Giant, Lindsay, Karina, Penny. It is just beautiful here this morning. I have to say, when I got up and kind of saw the sunrise first thing this morning as I was kind of getting up and getting going, I know it might be a pretty hot day like it has been, but I know it's just beautiful out this morning. I wish it would stay this kind of calm, like 77 all day, because it's just great out. Kelly, hello. Aussie Down Under, Helen. So it is just 7:15 and I'm going to get going so we can get our 45-minute workout in. If you are going to join me in working out this morning, remember to get your watch started. We're going to walk again around that 16-minute pace and try to keep up with RunDisney's pacing requirement. But if you are on a treadmill or a spin bike or any other equipment, you can go at whatever pace you think is right for you. And if you are not interested in listening to chatting this morning, I always recommend go in, put your headphones in, just pop this up on TV or a tablet and enjoy the scenery, but you can listen to your own music as well. Adam and I do that a lot. Good morning, Kara. Good morning, Sandy, Leah. So with that said, let's get going. I'm going to hit my watch. Let's go have a beautiful walk around this stunning resort. Good morning, Adam, Stephanie, Danielle. So I'm going to start out by talking about the resort for a little while this morning, and then we'll talk about my thoughts for this week of motivation, encouragement, that sort of thing as we go along. Here I am at the Coronado Springs Resort, and my personal opinion is this resort doesn't get as much love as it should. I'll tell you kind of the downsides first. So if you are here on Walt Disney World's property, it is kind of sectioned off by its lonesome. Like, this resort is kind of just hanging out all alone. And so it's not on a Skyliner, it's not on a monorail, it's not connected to a park by any means. The closest park is probably Hollywood Studios, or Blizzard Beach is actually right down the street here. But it's not one of the resorts that everybody thinks of due to location. But I will give you this. Another thing that people sometimes are concerned about, it's another one of the resorts here that is really spread out. So the Grand Destino Tower opened a couple years ago, and that is in the main building. We'll see that as we come along. I was just standing in front of it, and it is massive and it's stunningly beautiful. I highly recommend it. But if you're in one of the casitas, which are all the rooms in the smaller buildings along the water here, it can be kind of spread out as far as a resort concerned. It's, for some people, that's not a feature that they're really excited about. Another feature of this resort is it is a big convention hotel. They use this often for some of their larger groups that want convention space. And I'm not saying conventions as in, or groups as in all the huge kids. Like, a lot of times the kids groups that come in with hundreds of kids are down at the all-star resorts. in some capacity. But here at Coronado Springs, I would say this is the one that's used almost exclusively all the time for conventions, and then they start here, have their conventions during the day, and oftentimes go out to evening events at the parks. That's why you see a lot of the convention attendees with lanyards on in the evenings in the resorts. Excuse me? Excuse me? Yes, the lobby here is just stunning. Just stunning. It is probably one of my favorite architecturally on all of Disney property is the lobby here at the Grand Destino Tower. So as we go along here, I feel like the positives of this resort, I enjoy that it's a little spread out. I enjoy that there's a lot of space because as a runner, walker, jogger, whatever you'd like to consider yourself, I enjoy kind of the peacefulness of this. See, there's even chairs out here to just sit and relax along the lake. See, there's somebody here doing yoga. And a lot of times you don't see that kind of thing in the morning because a lot of the resorts are hustling and bustling. But this one, there's a lot of companies, so people are going off to their convention space here, and it's all kind of contained over there in the front. So people come, get ready, they go into their convention when it starts. And so during the day, they're not hanging out at all the pools. Now there are obviously guests vacationing as normal, but since it is such a huge space meant for groups, a lot of times they're busy doing their convention things or their group things that are arranged. So it's a little bit more quiet, which can be good, which other people may think, I don't know, maybe that's not really right for me or my family. But I've always had a great time at their pool areas, and there's multiple of their pool areas here. And I've stayed here a couple times now. Here, now you can kind of see how large this Grand Destino Tower is in the distance. I just think they did a great job. I remember when they were building it and how long it took them to build that tower, and it was, the one flaw that I will tell you is there's a restaurant up on the top floor up there, and I will say that I don't know who made the decision, but it is delicious. It's like tapas style, but regrettably it is not facing the Disney fireworks. If you go out on their balcony, it is facing more of like the Kissimmee or opposite area. So it's just not, it wasn't positioned correctly. Maybe there's other things on the top floor that I'm not aware of that they use for that. But I thought that was a missed opportunity to not have the patio and the tables with these large grand windows overlooking any of the fireworks. That's just my opinion. See, lots of space here for families and runners. The loop around Coronado Springs, I'm going to say it's loosely about a mile. And I'll tell you why I say loosely. Because you can zigzag in some of these building areas to make it longer or shorter, depending on what you like. So, you know, their recommended path, I think, is about 1.2 miles, or maybe right around 1 mile around. But it's pretty easy to do. We're gonna come over here to the left. We'll walk around those buildings for a bit before we go back onto the main circle here. But just beautiful, stunning. And like I said, anytime that we've stayed here, the rooms have been renovated a couple years back. I would estimate they renovated them right around the pandemic, so right around 2020. And although that seems like a while ago, you know, a couple years now, you know, there was times during the pandemic where many of these rooms weren't used. So they didn't get the wear and tear that normally some of the rooms get during that pandemic season, if you will. So they're still looking really nice. The last time we stayed here was about a year ago, because the marathon weekend last January, when we ran the marathon, we stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge. And then we stayed here the prior marathon weekend. So that would have been 2022. And I enjoyed it. The rooms were great. We stayed actually back here, which is not so bad. Again, some may feel concerned it's a little bit farther from the main pool, but there is lots of parking as well if you're driving or if you rented a car. I like that it's extremely easy to park here. Like, you can pull up right to pretty much any building that you're in. And as far as accessibility, all these buildings have many first floor rooms that you just walk right up into. So if you have anybody in your party that really prefers something that they can have an outdoor entrance, or they can go in and out of easy versus going into some sort of larger building and taking an elevator to a floor, I recommend the Coronado Springs, because the parking lots are just on the other side of these buildings. Almost all the rooms are facing interior, so you have these nice views as well. And just like every other Disney resort, the theming here is great. There's a lot of little touches on the buildings and in the landscaping and in the decor. See, here's another pool. It's right off to the side here. So even though it seems like you're spread out, you're close to the smaller pools, no matter where you are. And this is pretty much how it is. Like, lots of this green space here. They have lots of seating, or maybe if you just want to relax and read a book. I kind of relate this to if you are interested in something like the Wilderness Lodge, but maybe the Wilderness Lodge is a little too expensive, being a deluxe resort, but you like that feel of it. I recommend you check this out as a moderate resort. Still easy access to the buses. The buses are at the front, out of the lobby. But I think it's nice sometimes to find resorts where, you know, you have a little bit of peacefulness, because when you're in the park, that is tough for me. If I'm on vacation and to do these really long, ambitious, fast-paced theme park days, can be really tiring. So when you want to just relax and kind of take it down a notch, it's nice to have a resort that you're happy with, that you can go back and you can relax around. Because not every resort is like that. There's some resorts here that are pretty packed. They've always got, they don't have as many little nooks and crannies, as I call it, where you can just peacefully take a few minutes. Maybe you have an off-park day, and Coronado Springs is kind of that for me. So this has reminded me, this little walk has reminded me how maybe if I need a day to just breathe and take it down. Look at this. See, I love this. They have very calming music out here on this beach and these hammocks. Oh, maybe I've got it all wrong. I know that there's a couple of resorts that I'm looking to check off my bucket list, but maybe coming back here for a while is really where I need to be. We are about 15 minutes into our 45-minute walk. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you are just joining, hello, welcome. We're taking our sunrise walk here at the Coronado Springs. I'm still walking about my, today it's about 17-minute pace. You can walk or jog on your treadmill at home to this. J Greco 07, hello. Peggy, hello. Follow the Bradley's Fun, good morning. Beach Club is my home resort. Yes, the Beach Club, I agree. There are some really nice little nooks and crannies, as I call it, where you can just have a moment to take that breath. Because the parks are fun, they're awesome, but let's face it, it's really great if you push yourself to the limit to have all that super fun in the moment. It's not really great when you get home and you're just utterly exhausted for the next 2 weeks. And the laundry's piling up and you're like, oh man, now I gotta get back to reality. So taking a moment at whatever resort you're at and having a little bit of peace and relaxation is really helpful. What is our stream schedule? Well, we're streaming tomorrow night, which is Thursday. I have another walk scheduled on Friday, and then we stream every Sunday night. And if you're ever interested in our schedule, we post it on our YouTube page. I also post it on our Facebook page. You can check that out. Yes. Especially this resort is most guests that I've seen up and about. We've seen some families. There's other people who are up here walking around and running for the morning. I've seen a number of convention guests that are getting going and getting ready for their meetings for the day. So I hope this week has been wonderful for you guys. We're in the thick of summer, and I hope that everybody, if you're enjoying your summer wherever you are. In Florida, it's been pretty toasty. So going into, the 75 hard fitness challenge that I'm on, being in the summer, okay, we're just gonna Bear with me, I had to walk on the grass for a minute. Okay, we're around the golf cart. Jason's gonna be at the beach club as well. Yeah, the yacht and the beach club is beautiful. You can't go wrong over there. Adam and I love to run over there. We just don't get over there as much as we would like to. And I do agree, Coronado Springs is the deluxe resort for the moderate price. It doesn't get as much love as it should. So I hope you guys are having a good summer, like I was saying. One of the tough parts about summer, as far as working out and fitness, is, at least here in Florida, it can be really hot, and equally the storms in the summer are really rough. Yesterday, out of nowhere, it looked like it was going to be a great morning. Took a nice walk in the morning, and by 10 a.m. I thought, okay, I'm going to mow the grass on my lunch break. But by 10 a.m. it was storming so bad. It was wild. Like, Harper was scared. Dexter, our little dog, our Yorkie dog, was scared. So I think, oh, great. So it makes it tough. So that's the one thing with the summer, is that you kind of have to battle sometimes the weather. If you are interested to go out and you want to go run, walk, or jog outside. I personally love doing my workouts outside. If I could do all my workouts outside, I would, because I feel like there's something to see. I enjoy changing the scenery. And although I do watch videos like this when I'm on the treadmill or on the spin bike, it's really nice to get out wherever I'm at and experience and take in the scenery of where I am, whether it's a park or my local neighborhood, or if I'm over here at Disney somewhere, like the Yacht and Beach Club. Yeah, this music is just beautiful. So we are headed here around for our second loop. We're about 20 minutes in, so that means you're about halfway done with your walk, run, jog this morning. Congratulations. And if you are watching on the replay, hello. Another reminder that if you're looking for more videos like this, POV walks around Walt Disney World property, we have a whole video series on them. You can go right here on the YouTube channel, go look at the collection that we have put together from pretty much almost every resort. You can pop those on, and those are set to music. That doesn't have us talking through them. They're set to music, and Adam did a wonderful job putting all of those together some time ago and compiling all of them. So I have to admit, I'll talk about this a little bit. So last week, I kind of had a rough week. Nothing bad or serious, but everybody has those times where you encounter something that's disappointing or frustrating, and got me a little down. And I will tell you, your mood can really affect. I'm just gonna hit and encounter this golf cart everywhere I go, I think. Okay. And it had nothing to do with anything really, just a couple of situations that in life can get you down and out or disappointed. But with that, I will say it was really hard to get my workouts in because I just was like frustrated. Why should I do this? This is a pain in the butt. I don't feel like getting up and doing this. Why should I? And I just want to feel sorry for myself. I want to feel upset. I want to feel angry. I want to feel all of those things, which are wonderful and fine. But in trying to achieve my 75 hard goals and just trying to get back into half marathon shape as far as running and working out, getting ready for RunDisney, which is going to kick off with the Wine and Dine race in November. Time goes so fast. So I will say it was really dragging for me to get up, get out of the house, to just say, hey, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to do it. And I guess what I wanted to talk more about today is like adversities. And you think, okay, that's fine. Well, that was a struggle that I had for so long, and I do have, is, well, I've got this going on and I'm just frustrated, so I'm not going to do this today. I'm not going to go work out. I'm not going to go ahead. Hello, good morning. I'm just going to take my time and, watch some TV or relax. But I'll tell you, there's such a difference in when I go and work out, and even if I'm just going slow, even if I just say, you know what, I just don't have it in me, I just can't push any harder, I can't do anything more, but I'm going to do what it takes. I'm going to get out there, I'm going to take the steps, and at least it's something. And so that was kind of my week last week. This week is better, of course. Things go by and you get over them and you persevere through situations and just realize what you have to do or what has to get done. And so that's my words of encouragement for this week. Well, at least today, that everybody goes through these times, or something will come up in your day. And honestly, I feel like in today's society, you could go to the grocery store, something so simple and, common, and encounter something that can really change your day. I feel like there's a lot of people with a lot of negative moods and negative outlooks. And I try, and I encourage all of you guys too, and I guess that's what helps me in my day today, is to be the positive person, is to look at the best in things and to look in the best in what I'm doing and what I want to get done for myself. Because it will, not only does it change often the people around you and how they react, but it just makes life so much more simpler if you are the person saying, you know what, the grass is more green. Or, this is a difficult situation, but here's the light in the situation. So when I encounter those moments, that is what I tell myself. While this may not be awesome and this may not be exactly what I hoped for or wanted, I spend the time saying, you know what, I'm just going to take a deep breath. I'm going to say, I can do this. I am going to get to do what I wanted or accomplish this that I was hoping to do, and I can turn this around in some way. It may not be the way that I envisioned, you know, or I didn't get this workout in. This is not the workout that I wanted to do. Maybe it was storming, for example, or maybe something came up and, you know, you're just really tired. Well, there are many different kinds of workouts that you can do depending on, you know, what kind of mood you're in, kind of what you're capable of. If you have an injury, there's lots you can do, lots of alternatives. So I feel like if today is the day where you're feeling down about something, and believe me, I feel down about things sometimes, and last week was an example. I thought that something was going in a positive direction. Oh, a cute little bunny. Sorry, I'm like with any animal. Squirrel, in this case, bunny. Take this time to say to yourself, you know what? This is frustrating to me, and I don't like how this person is treating me, or I don't like this situation that I'm in. And while you can dwell on it, you know, the only person that's going to make that change for you is you. So I would love to say, don't worry, somebody will come along and help out. There are times and there are people, unfortunately, where you don't have anybody to, you know, be that voice of encouragement. So if you put it in your head that today will be good, today will be a great day, and I'm not happy about this or this or this, but you know what I can control? I can do this and this and this, and this makes me happy, and this makes me proud. So let today be that day where you just, you know, take your deep breath. Maybe it's on this walk. Maybe it's while you're listening right now. While you say to yourself, you know what, I don't like the situation I'm in, but I am bigger than this situation. I can make the best of it, or I can put it behind me. Sometimes there's situations where you just need to let it roll off. You know, you can't really see it on the camera, but, you know, flick your shoulder a little bit, you know, shake it off. Just shake it off. Because oftentimes, and I'm guilty of the same thing, where something happens, or maybe we've come across something, and you dwell on it. And now it's just eating you up. So every day, it's like just making you more and more upset. You know, you just need to let it go. And that's what I have to do. Like, I almost, in the mornings, like, I go to bed, and I say, this is kind of like, this is like the end, right? This is the line. Like, I'm going to bed. But guess what? Tomorrow will be a new day. And tomorrow's a new day for me to think to myself, okay, here are the things that I can change about today. And here's the things that I'm happy about. So I recommend that for today. You know, making today the difference. And going out and doing a walk like this. And maybe you're just watching along because maybe you like the scenery. That's okay too. Believe me, it's early for me. I am admittedly not a morning person, but I kind of force myself, and this is a great opportunity. Normally I'll take my walks if I'm at home. I'll just walk around my neighborhood more towards 8 o'clock, right before I start my work day. But doing it early like this, where I'm getting up earlier, I know like 6 o'clock for some people is no big deal. I have a good friend who is always up like 5:30 or 6 in the morning. And I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I've always been an evening person. I don't mind to stay up late. You know, not like 1 in the morning late or anything like that, but, you know, 11 o'clock or midnight is not a big deal to me. But 5, 6 in the morning, I give a huge kudos to so many people who get up and they work out at like 5 in the morning. Wow, my goodness. My mornings are very different than those who get up in the morning, like maybe they have a nice workout and then they have this nice breakfast or something along those lines. So I like roll out of bed. If I had my choice, I'd roll out of bed. Maybe I'd do my workout like 9 o'clock, you know, shower up by 10:30, and then get into other things during the day. And then, you know, do a lot of evening activities, that sort of thing. That would be perfect. But I would say that those are things that you can focus on today. Those are things that I struggled with last week. And I thought to myself, you know, this is things that I think everybody just needs to remember. And real quick, off topic, I saw that Sean was asking about memberships based upon our channel. So here on YouTube, they have what they call a channel membership. And we just learned about this a few weeks ago. YouTube invited us to the program and said, hey, you should start this, blah, blah, blah. So it gives, you can do different things with it, and different creators have different offerings. We just made it very simple. I think it's $2 a month. And then we put in special emojis, and we'll probably use it more along that lines, like work with the emojis, and we call ours Chat Plus. Other channels will call it something different. But Patreon is a whole other different support system. It's a completely different website, and we are on Patreon. It's a way for creators to give extra content, and people can support the creators and the channels there. And you can do things over there too, like special live streams, and we put behind the scenes content, and we offer, depending on what level, different things. And Patreon has a better way of tracking things that we give and gifts on Patreon. Like, for example, if you join Patreon, you get our magnet, our channel magnet. So, and they have tracking things for that. So they've got a lot of more opportunities that we enjoy using, and tools that we can use to help better reward and showcase our content than the YouTube channel membership. But we like the channel membership for all of the emoji purposes. So yeah. Lindsay Stadler, thank you. Donna Gibson, good morning. Well, thanks for enjoying my food for thought, you know, about my situation last week. It's not even a situation, you know, it's just, you know how it goes in your life. You have these moments where you're like just frustrated, and one thing can kind of change the course of your day. And that's what happened. One thing kind of set me off, and while the situation was important and yes, pretty much a big deal, something that I have to take care of, but I can't let it overwhelm me. I can't let it tell me I'm not going to work out. So thanks, Sean. We're happy for whatever you join. It's just a matter of what is most interesting to you. So if you're most interested in hanging out and you just want to have some of the emojis, sure. The channel membership on YouTube, go ahead and do that and get fun emojis when we do all of the big streams on the evenings is fun. But if you want extra content and you want some great photos and behind the scenes and kind of give your opinion as to live streams that we do, go over to Patreon. That's where you should check it out. That's where you can be most involved. That's the short version. Is Adam at work today? Well, he should be leaving the house in about 10 minutes. So, yes, pretty much. He's got the long trek downtown to his job, versus I work from home. So we've got about 8 minutes left here together. And if you are out walking along with me, listening along, maybe you're on the replay, now is the time. You are doing an amazing job. You are almost at the end of this 45-minute workout. You know, a couple of streams ago, like my walking streams, I should say, I talked about my first race ever and kind of how I got into running, because I wasn't always a runner at all. I played sports, but running was absolutely not something I was terribly excited about. I got into it. The short version is I got into it because of a work Biggest Loser program. And I ran my first Disney race, which admittedly did not go well. So that's kind of how I ended the story. And I'll talk more at length maybe on Friday about my running journey since that first race that did not go well. I wound up sick for like the next 2 days, but I learned so many lessons from that. And I guess in going with us talking about adversity or setbacks today and making the most out of things and positive, is if you are just trying to improve yourself and trying to improve your health and where you want to be, I will say that the path is very windy. And I think that's important to remember. I should say I know it's important for people to remember, because there is nobody. There might be some people, but even the greatest of athletes, we forget, train day after day after day after day. Even though we stand in awe of some amazing athletes, you could say Olympians, you could say even sports figures that you enjoy. I'm gonna jog up here in front of this couple, this lady. There. So even as you're going about things in your journey to better yourself, however that may be, in health, in fitness, in your work life, maybe in your personal life, all too often people don't realize that it takes practice, and everybody has some sort of setback, some sort of failure, and you might have this forward progression. Like in my case, I'm really excited that through the 75 Hard program, I've lost 14 pounds since I started the program last month. And I'm on day 38. So now that is amazing. And I'm proud of that. And I'm happy about that. I have learned so much over time in my running history and my running journey that I have to continue to build on that, because there are always points in your life where maybe you have some obstacles and you have to keep at it and you have to keep practicing. And if you don't give yourself that time or even that grace where you look at yourself and say, you know what, things happen, but I'm going to get back in the saddle and I'm going to continue to make progress, even if I had some setbacks, because that is Karen Carter is talking about how it started raining. Oh my gosh. Well, I bet your dog had fun in the rain. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Yes, running or walking in the rain is adversity. I'll take that. So we've got about 2 minutes here. We'll walk back over this beautiful bridge overlooking the Grand Destino Tower. But that's what I kind of want to leave you with, and that's the things that I was thinking about and kind of internalizing over this week, is that you might think life is amazing, life is wonderful, but guess what? There's always going to be something. There's always going to be something that says, hey, I just showed up for my Disney vacation and it started raining. Well, that is not always awesome, because sometimes it's lightning, and that can truly, for lack of a better word, put a damper on a trip that you just spent thousands of dollars on. Or for everybody who's running and jogging along with me, I have done this. You spend a bunch of money and you've trained really, really hard, and you're ready for this race or a sporting event. Maybe it could be anything that you can think of. And you get there, and in the middle of the race, maybe you twist your ankle. Maybe your knee gives out. There's something that is out of your control. Maybe you trip. I've seen a lot of people at Disney races who, it's just silly. It's just a mistake. It's not something that they did on purpose or anything that Disney did or anybody did. They just trip over their 2 feet, and they can't finish because just things happen. But you could sit there and dwell on those situations where you've tripped, you've fallen, and said, that's it. Everything's over. It's all down the drain. But you can pick yourself up and say, nope, it is not over. I am going to do better. I'm going to continue this. I can do this. I'm a fighter. Let's look at this in a positive way. And what did I learn from this? I will tell you, through everything that I've been through, and maybe one day I'll talk about it, I've been through some pretty tough things in my life. Like some really tough situations in my life personally. And this is probably the only mention I'll make of it for a long time, but I've chosen in my life to say, you know what, I'm going to put it behind me, and I'm bigger than those situations, and I will overcome them, and I'm not going to let them define me, and I'm not going to let them change my outlook on life. And that's what I love about running, and about how today, with the sunrise, and it's a new day, and we're starting our day off in a wonderful way, and we're starting it off together with this walk. And that's what's great about these things. Speaking of, this looks like a great place to end. So with that, we are at 45 minutes exactly, guys. It has been a fabulous day, a fabulous morning with you guys. I hope that today you make it a positive day. If you were out and about, please make sure you try to do some stretching. It does help, even if it's light stretching. Make sure you drink a lot of water, especially on these hot summer days. And be positive, because there's a lot of people who are in the chat, who are watching this video, who are cheering for you right now. Even though we're all not together, we're all cheering for each other. And so I am cheering for you as well. So here from the Coronado Springs, here, I'll turn it around for just a minute. Sorry, it's now getting hot, especially walking that fast. But it's a 0.75 mile trail here, but we added in a lot more. The 1 mile trail is what we're pretty much doing through a lot of the the buildings there. So thank you, everybody. And don't forget, we'll be live again Friday morning. I'm still deciding where I might go. Maybe the boardwalk again. Thank you, guys. I hope you have a positive day. And I will see you real soon. Bye-bye.